You see, some people are on the 5 years route to indefinite leave to remain. They've been issued with the first 2.5 years. Now they want to renew, but they do not even have the knowledge of the application. They don't know what the application entails. They don't know what they are supposed to prepare themselves for. They don't know the requirements, on ground. They don't know they are supposed to meet certain requirements. They don't know anything about the application. All they just do is that they just want to entrust that particular application in the hands of their lawyer. Come closer. Let me tell you this. It's very important and it's going to help you. Listen, there are certain things you need to demonstrate to the Home Office after the first 2.5 years. And if you're about to renew to get the second 2.5 years, which will lead you to indefinite leave to remain, you need to have the knowledge, very, very critical knowledge of that application. Even if you're going to use a lawyer in the end of the day, you still need to have the knowledge. You still need to know the application, know the things, know what it entails, know the document you're supposed to put together before the expiration of the first 2.5 years. Listen, let me tell you this. I've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, very important points that you need to have at the back of your mind. And you need to prepare yourself towards this 5 points before the expiration of your first 2.5 years, because you don't want to make no mistakes. If you make any mistakes, your application might be refused, and then you're back to square one. You've lost money, and then you're back to square one. So stay tuned and listen very carefully to me. All right. Now, you need to demonstrate certain things. You need to show that you have met certain, criteria. For instance, look at the income requirement. That's number one. You have to show proof of your income. After you've been issued with the first 2.5 years, of course, you started working. You need to show that you have the income requirement, okay, that you've been working. Now, you need to show this payslip. How do you show this proof of income? It's going to be on your payslip, on your P60s, on your bank statement. This is how you show that you have been working, and this is amount you've been collecting. How do you want to demonstrate? How do you want to show to the Home Office that this is amount you've been collecting? It's going to be on your P60s. It's going to be on your pay slips. It's going to be on your bank statement. And that bank statement must indicate the exact amount as equal to that on the pay slip. Listen, your bank statement is going to be issued to you. There is a specific place that shows that this is X amount you receive every month, or the wages every fortnightly. The same must be equal as the one on your pay slip, and as well at the end of the tax year on your P60. So you need to put these three things together to demonstrate or to prove your income. It is quite important. Number two is a proof of your residence. That proof of your residence is the proof of where you are living and that you have been residing in the UK. How do you prove this? These points, don't forget that I told you earlier that these points are very, very important. Even if you're going to use your lawyer, you still need to have this knowledge. You need to have this at the back of your mind. You need to prepare yourself towards this. It's quite important, guys. The proof of residence, you can prove this through your utility bills, through council tax. If you have council tax letter, your name must be on the council tax. Your name must be on the utility bills. Your name must be on any letter whatsoever that comes into that property. Okay, and the same address as that on your P60s, on your payslips, and on your bank statement. The address on your bank statement cannot be different from the address on the utility bills. That's contradictions. So you must make sure that every address and your name must be on the utility bills, the council tax, the phone bills, the P60, the bank statement, the payslips. Everything must correspond. You don't want to make no mistakes. That is number two. Now, number three, you must prove English proficiency. English proficiency. How do you prove this English proficiency? This is where the English test comes in. There was a time I did a video. I was talking to people that you need your English test. You need to register and have A2. If you are renewing your spouse visa, the second 2.5 years, you need your A2 English test. This is going to cost you about £150. I don't want to mention the name of any center here. Otherwise, you'll be like, I'm advertising. You get what I mean? But then you can go online to find out where you can actually register to get this English test done. But if you have any degree taught in English in the UK, you don't need to sit for that particular English test. It's quite important. Have that at the back of your mind. That's number three. Number four is your circumstances. If it remains the same with your partner. If your circumstances has remained the same with your spouse, you must show. And how do you show this? You show this through the cohabitation, and that's where the marriage certificate comes in, the Crete passport and their birth certificate. All right. So one of the ways that which you can show that you and your partner are still you are still together, you and your spouse, you and your wife, you are still together, is to submit the marriage certificate, submit the kid's passport, submit your wife's passport as well alongside to show that you are still together. This is quite important. You need to demonstrate this. And another thing is to meet the minimum income threshold. The minimum income threshold is currently 18,600. Your salary must not be less than 18,600. Could be more, but must not be less than 18,600. That is the minimum income threshold. Now, it has been said, I don't know if it's been approved, but I think it's been submitted to the parliament, maybe for approval, that as from the 11th of April 2024, this money is going to increase. Your minimum income threshold will increase from 18,600 to 29,000. So if you are filing in your second 2.5 years before the 11th of April 2024, you are still going to be on that 18,600. But if your application is going to come after the 11th of April 2024, you have to make sure that your salary is 29,000 or more. This is one of the very important criteria, guys. You cannot joke with this criteria. And aside this, you're going to talk about your IHS, which is Immigration Health Surcharge. That immigration health surcharge has increased from £624 to £1,035. So you are looking at about £2,517 aside the application fee. Listen, aside the application fee. So you prepare yourself. That's a bulk of money. £2,517 for IHS surcharge only. IHS, that's immigration health surcharge. So £2,500 for that, aside your application fee. So if you are going to use your lawyer, that's another £1,000, because I don't know if any lawyer will collect less than £1,000 from you, depending on your circumstance, But then the most important thing is that you need to get yourself acquainted with these pieces of information, right? Get your immigration health surcharge ready, £2,517, right? Get your application fee ready. That's quite important. So if you want to use your lawyer, that is your own, it's up to you, totally up to you. But these are the quite important things that you cannot do, you cannot joke with. Your English test, which is about £150. Your immigration health surcharge, which is about £2,517, and your application fee. These three things, plus these 5 points that I've mentioned to you, you need to be able to demonstrate that you have met these criteria before you can submit that application. Start working towards it now, and you will be very happy at the end.